Everyone, my name is Monica Latham, and I am a librarian at Morgan Library. And I am here to tell you a little bit today about the library and what it has to offer, and show you the website and how to navigate it and how to find things that will help you in your studies here at CSU. So let's just jump right in, and I will share my screen with you and show you the website. So let me do that, sharing. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is the library website, and you get there by going to lib.colostate.edu is how you see that. And as most things in today's world, our resources are available a lot online, so you will use this a lot. Now, the first thing that I want to show you about this is that if you are not in the library or you are off campus, you need to make sure that you are logged into your account. That will get you access. So most of the things that are available through the library are available because you are students at CSU, and you would have to pay if you were not a student. So technically you are paying with your tuition, but I tell you that because they need to know that you are affiliated with CSU so that you have access to that. So to log in, you just go to my accounts and you go to my record and you can log in from there. And then they will know as you're searching through the library materials and resources that you're affiliated and you have access. So as you can see here, you would just sign in with your net ID and your login as you do almost everything else at CSU. So first things first, I want to make sure that you have access to everything. So I highly recommend that you take a look at this website, click around, you're not going to break it, find out what is there and what's available for you. I'll go through most of the things on this page, but I don't expect you to remember it all, right? There's a lot of information I'm going to throw at you right now. So just click around, you're not going to break it, and you'll find it here. So first thing that I'm going to point out to you is that there is a big giant search box in the middle of the screen, and that is, as search boxes are used for searching for things that the library has. So if you're looking for a book and you know the title of the book, or you want to search for a certain subject, you can do that. So you just type that in here and I will do a search. I'll push enter and it will search for everything that the library has on vampires, right? So you can see there are books available, there are articles available. And if you go here on the left-hand side, you can see all kinds of things. There are newspaper articles, magazine articles, reviews, that kind of thing. So the great thing about a library is we try to organize everything for you and make things easy to filter out to find out what you need. And so a lot of the times within the databases and online on our catalog, you'll have filters on the left-hand side that you can sort out what you need. So we did this search and we had 33,000 results. That's too many for you. So that's when you use the filters on the left-hand side to sort through those things. So if you needed something in a different language or something like that, you can do your searches over here. So these things that come up in this kind of search, if it's a book, it will probably be in the library. This one is a storage access, so we will get it to you, but it's not in the library. This one is in the library, and you can find it by the call number here. Call numbers can be a little tricky if you're not familiar with the library system. And so I want to emphasize that the library is here to help you. So if you need help finding a book, go to that front desk in the building and ask for help. That's what those employees do. So we do not want to block access of any kind in any way, shape, or form. So if you need help finding a book, please do ask for some help. All right, so that's how you find things within the library. The library itself, if you have not been inside, is pretty big. I think it has 4 floors, and each floor has books of some kind. Most of them are in the basement, but they start at the top. So the third floor down to the basement will have books. So that's why I say go and get some help if you need to find it. But so if you need help with that, do that. Now, a little bit more about the library space. The basement is considered quiet study. So if you need a quiet place to study, I would suggest the basement. But there's study spaces on every floor of the library. And so I highly recommend that you wander around and look and see what fits for you. We also have study rooms that you can reserve up to 2 weeks in advance for 3 hours a day. And you can do your study room reservations right here from this point. Click on that and click which room you want. You can see that this one says basement. So these are the basement ones, and first floor, second floor, third floor. You can see they're very popular. So if you have a group study that you need to reserve a room for, I highly recommend you doing that in advance. But I go to, next week, Friday, and they're open. So do that. The first floor has a computer lab, very large computer lab, and you can print there. We also have one of the classrooms that we're using right now with the Clark renovations. We do have a class. Some classes are held in there. So if you're looking, if one of your courses says it's in the library, it's on that first floor. Second floor, we have special collections and reserves on second floor. Then third floor is a collaboratory where you can just run and play, and we have games up there and things like that. So hopefully we're trying to create an environment for you that you can relax, you can study. There'll be some place for you to be. So we also have a 24-hour study area for you to have access to. It is called the Cube, and it's located on the north side of the building near the front entrance. And with your RAM card, you can scan into that 24 hours a day if you need some quiet study space. Your roommate's driving you crazy, so loud, and you have to focus. You can scan your card and get in there. So that is the 24-hour study space. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know, and I will happily answer those for you. But that is what the physical space looks like. I told you I'd start with the web, and I went into physical spaces anyway. I got distracted. But so with that, and remember when I said we're here to help you, right? We really are. And so I'm going to show you how there are several ways that you can contact us if you have questions of any kind. Right here is this Ask Us Chat Online box that will follow you around our webpage. So you can click on that and ask a librarian during regular business hours. Someone's manning that right now. And there's also this button right here called Research Help. If we click on that and see what that looks like. We've got a couple quick links for you here, another one to our chat. We also have a program in the library that's called the Peer Research Mentor Program. And then that means that we have students like yourselves who have been trained in using library resources, and they're available to help you if you are not feeling comfortable talking to a librarian, or you just happen to walk by their desk, and you can stop and ask them. This is the page. You can schedule an appointment. You can do online or in person. Drop in anytime, and these what are they, and here they are right there. So I highly recommend that you do that. They're very helpful and wonderful people. And then if I'm back to this research help page, you can go to ask a research question, and you'll fill out a little form, and we'll email you back with your question. And then we have some help. Oops, sorry, got my Outlook. I turned it off, I swear. help by subject. So this is little guides to help you by subject, or some of your courses might have guides that is professor driven. So if you have a course guide, but there will always be a way to get some help. And as long as you don't leave it till 2 in the morning the day before your assignments due, we're there for you. So most of the big questions we get at the library proper are these buttons here on the bottom: how to print, how to get a study room, and how to find my course reserves. So those answers will be there. I'm not going to walk you through them. You can do that yourself on your own. Don't want to listen to me talking about it. We also have an events page that if we have activities or workshops planned, you can look at them here. The most questions I get asked in these instruction sessions are, when are the therapy dogs coming? And so let's see, they come every month. So next month we will have the therapy dogs on October 9th, but you will find all of those activities here. So, and we have a lot of things going on during the year, so I would recommend looking there. Okay, so that's kind of a general overview. At an academic library, we have one job and one job only as librarians and library employees, and that is to get you the information that you need to be successful in your coursework. So this is why we have so many ways to contact us, and we're trying to be very accessible in that. So most students, I would say, start out their research for articles that they need for their personal research or their paper writing. They start them on the internet, right? Just on a general internet site, which is not bad, but it's not going to be the most efficient thing. So if you are ever out on the internet searching for things and you find an article and you run into a paywall, which you will, please don't ever pay for anything online, because that is our job, is to get that to you. So most likely it's in here somewhere. And so I'm going to show you how to find those things and give you a couple tips and tricks about how to use the library resources effectively. And what we're going to do is we're going to start here. Right after, I'm not going to start in this box. I would highly recommend, if you're looking for articles, to start with our databases. So I'm going to click on A to Z database list. And this is all of our databases. Now, what is a database, you might ask? It is library jargon for sure. So a database is a group of information curated by professionals. Okay, so if you're out on the internet and you're out looking for information, it can be overwhelming, and to find that relevant, trustworthy information. So this is what the library is doing for you. And this is why, when you're searching for those kinds of things, we recommend that you start in a database. Okay, it's just going to be easier for you to find what you need with this specifics that you've been given by your faculty instructors to do that. So this is our database list. Now I want you to look here. And notice that we have 399 databases. That is a lot of databases. We understand that. We realize that it's an overwhelming amount. So as librarians, we love to chunk things together in groups, in subjects where you can find the information easily, right? So I would recommend, if you know the name of a database, yay. If you want to just search by subject, that's if you have a keyword you're looking for, that's fine. I like to point out this drop-down menu right here, which is where we separate them by subject. So it doesn't matter what you're studying, or if you're taking your elective class that's not in your regular study, you can find databases for any subject that you will be studying at CSU. So if you are taking an education class, I can click on this and I will click search here, and up pops 14 databases found for education. And here are your best bets: ERIC, PsycInfo, and Medline Web of Science. Okay, so don't want you to be overwhelmed with that. There's an easy way to get those filtered out for you. So keep that in mind. I'm going to clear the filters here just for my instruction purposes. And I want to show you also here on this right-hand side, multidisciplinary databases used to say good places to start, right? This is a good place to start because they are multidisciplinary. So that just means that they have lots of information on lots of different things. And you can put a search in there and find out if there is some research about what you are curious about. So I'm going to start with one of these to show you how a database works and so you can feel comfortable with it. Most of them are similar, right? And so I'll show you one and we'll talk about it a little bit, and you can take those skills into other databases. So I'm going to start with Academic Search Premier, and notice it's having me log in because I am at home today. So this is how it knows that I have access to it. I'm logging in with my net ID and my password. I'm going to accept this, and I have a citation manager attached, so it's trying to do that. That's what that yellow thing is. So this is a database. It's called Academic Search Premier. This is a great starting point. It has lots of information. Now, new to this year, it starts out by what is called using natural language search. What does that mean, you might ask? That means you can type in a sentence and you can type in a question. Why do vampires eat blood or drink blood? And it will do a search for you, okay? Previously, you had to search in a little different way, and I'll show you what that would look like, but we'll see what the search looks like first. Okay, it's giving me some suggestions here, but you're here. So I have 28 results on vampirism and why they drink blood, that kind of thing. Of course, this is not something probably that you would search, but I found it entertaining. So this is what a search looks like. So this one is a periodical. That means it is a popular source, so a newspaper or magazine. This is a peer-reviewed academic journal. So you can see kind of what they are this way. Now, this is not too many results. So yeah, I could probably go through all of these and look and see if they're applicable to what I'm wanting to look for. But let's say we broaden this a little bit more. Let's see if this broadens it. I don't know if it will or not. Okay, so yeah, now we broadened it. And now we have over 7,000 results. So say we typed in gun control or pollution or something, and we just got a really huge number of results, and it was overwhelming. So that is when the database is great for their filtering options. I'm going to click on all filters here so we can see what these look like. Now, say your professor asked you to find only peer-reviewed articles on vampires, and so I can click peer-reviewed right here, apply it to my search, and it will take us from 7,000, over 7,000, to 1,000. Okay, so you see how that takes that out. I won't get those newspapers, I won't get those magazines, I won't get those things that will not help me with my research assignment. Okay, so that's great. Normally, a lot of times I just click that all filters again. Your professors will want things within a certain date range. So say I can only have articles or research papers from the last 5 years or 10 years, or you can do a custom range right here. Source types, we can check that. We don't want any reviews. We just want academic journals. We can click that and apply those. And let's see what that does. Now we have 3 filters on there. And I wish it would stop doing this. Okay, so now we have 326. see how you just kind of narrow that down, but it's very easy and you don't have to read through the whole thing and find all that information. Now, if you're just trying to figure out what you want to research on, I highly recommend you check in the filter guide the subject area. This will tell you how people are talking about this subject, and so it'll give you a way to narrow that down. Well, maybe I only want to see what Charles Darwin said about vampires. That's great. There's only 6 articles on that, so I could apply that if I wanted to. So take a look at those, get yourself familiar with them, and it makes searching for information a whole lot easier by doing that. Okay, so now that we've found something, say that this is great, and we really are interested in the vectorized automated ML pre-processing. I don't know what this is, but this is great, right? We want this. You know what it means because this is your thing. Let's pretend. So how do we get it? How do we see it? There will always be a way to get it, to save it and to cite it. Okay, so I'm going to click into this and show you how to do that. Okay, so we can download it from here. You can share it. You can save it to a folder if you create an account within this site. You can cite it from here, or you can just click it to save it so you can come back another day. I would highly recommend you scroll down and you read the abstract and make sure that it's worth your time for reading and for keeping it in your research process. That's a great way to narrow things down for what might be applicable for you. But that's that. This just has a complete download button, and we're going to download it in PDF format, and I'm not going to do that because who knows what it will do to my computer, and I don't want to get stuck in the circly loop. So, okay, so there's that. Access now for PDF, you can see that. Cited by, it tells you how many times it's been cited. So if you need to do any of that information, it has a lot of information for you. That will be super helpful. And at this point, I would ask you if you had any questions, but if you do, just email me and I will answer them at when I get those. So that's how you do that. Now, excuse me, I'm going to show you one more web page so I can show you one other thing that will happen, that could happen to you. So I'm going to go into Web of Science, which is another great starting point. It's great for those STEM disciplines. Use Web of Science quite a bit. So let's do worms on this one. This one gives you some suggestions. I don't really care so much, so I'm just gonna, okay, I'm doing it. I'm gonna search for that and show you what this looks like. Now, this collection, very, very similar. Your filters are already here populated on the left-hand side, which is great. So you can see them right up front. But you can see how many times they've been cited, how many references they have. And if you find one good article, you can use those references to get more articles that are upon the same topic. So this is great. Now I'm showing you this specifically because this database does not have PDFs included. So there will be no direct download button. There will be no direct PDF link. But I want you to know that if that happens to you, and it will happen, if there's no PDF and there's no direct link, I don't want you to be worried about it. Again, this is our job to get you that information. So there will be a button that says find it at CSU. And I want you to be able to use that. Let me show you what that looks like when you click on it. All this does is take you to the library site, which will tell you how you can get it. All right. See, it's asking me to sign in, but this has what we clicked on: revised benign worm anti-worm, and how to get it. Now I'll sign in just so that this is a way so you don't have to look at it anymore. Oh well, super mad. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. So if it doesn't have a link under here that will say link here for direct access, which this one does not, you will always have this option right here, CSU Fort Collins Interlibrary Loan. What that means is that we will get that information for you. Now, if it is an article, they say, I think the website says 24, 48 hours will get it to you. That department is amazing. It never takes that long. I put in a request in the morning and I have it in my inbox by the afternoon. So they're very, very good. All you have to do is click on that. It will ask you to sign in. The first time you sign in, it will ask you a bunch of information, your name, where you want things delivered, that kind of thing. You only have to do that one time. So don't let that discourage you from using interlibrary loan, because you'll notice here, the article request is already populated for me. So I don't even have to type anything in. All I have to do is say I've read the copyright, that I won't go out and share it and sell it on the internet, and submit the request. And then the library will fulfill that, find that article for you, send you an email when it's ready with a link on how to get it. Okay, so I wanted you to show that because that will come into play when you're doing your searching. Okay, so those are two databases that we have for you. Interlibrary loan also works for books. So if you have a book that you want to get, the library doesn't own it, just ask Interlibrary loan to get it for you. Again, most of the time it comes through a courier system, so it takes a little while. So again, give yourself some time to do that. And one other thing I wanted to show you is if you do want to start on the internet, and that's just where your comfort level is and where you want to start. Say you wanted to go into Google Scholar and you wanted to find out worms and flies. Let's do that, and you do a search and you find all these things. This is where you can run into a paywall. And so if you'll notice here on this right-hand side of my screen, it says find it at CSU. Okay, so this will take you, hopefully I'm going to open in a new tab just to make sure that it does that. This will take you to our website, which should look familiar, right? We have it, it's available right here, or here, and you click on that, and you can view it online, or it looks like it's in the bound journal as well. So that's what that does. But how do you get this here, right? This is a trick, right? You have to add this. So if you're in Google Scholar and you plan on using Google Scholar, go to the pancake stack on the left-hand side and click on it. If you click on that and then you go to the settings tab here, you click on that and you have this library links option. So you would click on that, you would start typing in Colorado State, and these options would show up for you. So Colorado State University, Fort Collins, you give it a little check and save it. And that's how I got those to show up here. So that's another way. So if you don't know if this is a good article for you or a source that you can get, if you see the find it at CSU, that's a good indicator that that's something that you can get your hands on. This one doesn't, so unless it's exactly right for your project, you don't have to worry about it. But this find it at CSU will log you right into that. Okay, Colorado State University, let's see where we are. Okay, let me check this and make sure that I've gone through everything. again, I highly recommend you just going through these and finding out what is available to you. There's a lot of things that we offer. We do have printing and scanning in the computer lab. We have Adobe Suite on some of the computers if you need that. We do have other things to check out besides books. We have charging cords in case you forgot yours. I left it at home with calculators in case you need one and you happen to be in the library. You can check those out. Whiteboard markers for using those whiteboards in the library itself, and computer, laptops, projectors, all kinds of things. So if you need something, stop by the services desk and ask if they have it. They might have it for checkout. You just never know. Um, we have a lot of things, and we try to have things that will be helpful to you in your studies. So that is my spiel, and I've given you a lot of information and a lot of instruction. So feel free to rewind, fast forward, view it again and again, or never again. It's up to you, whatever works for you. But please know that we are here to help you, and so do not hesitate to reach out to us, and we are happy to do that and willing. So let me know if you have any questions. Again, my name is Monica Latham, and it was just monica.latham@colostate.edu, and you can email me at any time, and I will be happy to help you. And I will stop sharing so you can see someone's face on the screen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monica. It looks like you answered the question, the one question that we had about equipment that the library can lend out. So that is awesome. Otherwise, if there are no other questions, we really appreciate your time and spending this time sharing the resources, showing students how to access all of that. We just really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Anytime.
All right, I am going to end this, but we really appreciate your time. Also, thank you so much. There I am. Thank you so much for this. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
Have a great day.
Okay, you too.
Bye.